Oh boy.
Good morning, good day, wherever you are in the Philippines, in the world.
Good morning in the Philippines.
Good
Evening.
evening in the US. I think I just like walked up.
Yeah, somebody just got done with an 8-hour shift about an hour or so ago and had a little bit of a nap.
Yeah.
And yeah, she really did just wake up.
Yes.
But today is our
90 days
in the Philippines.
being here in the Philippines.
So, how's it feel to be back in your hometown for 3 whole months?
Great. Mixed emotion. But overall it's great. It's I love being here. I enjoyed being here. I'm grateful in being here. I'm like mixed with positive and negative, but there's a lot more of positive. Oh, good morning, Rodney. Full circle. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us. So if this is just impromptu,
This was kind of an impromptu
we
thing.
don't do advertising.
We were planning on doing this as a video, but figured it'd be a little bit cooler as a live stream. And that way we could ask ourselves a couple questions. And then anybody that managed to show up was more than welcome to ask any questions they may have about our experience in the last 90 days. And you'll have to excuse me if I lean into the computer. I can't see anything like that.
He said, I am Will, ma'am. God bless you guys.
Somebody has way better eyesight than I do. It's just kind of a blurry screen.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So, Michael and Heidi says, hi, John and Cindy. Hello to you. Thanks for joining us here. And Rodney said, I am always so full of questions. Yes, feel free to ask questions.
So,
but
what has been the best thing you have done since you got back? Or most enjoyed, or however you want to say that?
Sleep a lot. Eat a lot of Filipino food that I love. That's why I gain more weight. I'm watching now my weight because spend more time with my family.
We've done a lot of that, and that's been really cool. We've had a couple of really neat trips.
Spoiling them.
Done that a lot too.
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, spoiling them, spending a lot or make time with my friend.
So
he said from Rodney Fools, I miss my family. So yeah, I can definitely understand. So yeah.
It's been interesting. It's been a little bit trying in some ways being here with family and having as much family. And the houses here are way smaller than anything in the U.S. And it makes for some cramped quarters.
How about you? Turns.
Right.
Don't just ask me.
I was kind of waiting for you.
How about you? Why? Since our question is why Philippines, like why we decided to come over here in the Philippines, we'll start with that question. Why Philippines? Since it's our 90 days here.
There was actually a lot of reasons why we kind of chose. There was definitely a lot of reasons why I chose. One of them, bluntly honest, is economic refugee. Overall, the cost of living, although our expenses the last 3 months have been kind of high, overall, the cost of living is way less expensive here in the Philippines. We went out to get a barbecue from one of the street barbecues.
Yeah.
And it was like $4 for a good sized meal that filled both of us up with 5-6 sticks of barbecue each and a cup of rice each. And then the soda for a drink.
Normally we spend 400 pesos for barbecue, including drinks, with 7 people on top of that. But for the 2 of us, which is less than 200.
Yeah, it's about 200-300 pesos. It's about $6.
Yeah.
And When we went down to Bouarte, the cost of that was way inexpensive.
Yeah.
The housing here, that we're looking at a place that we're renting a place in Cebu, and through Airbnb for the entire month, it is rated at $700, and that's in the heart of the city.
Yeah.
So it's like I say, even in the city's a lot more expensive than the province, obviously, but it's still way less expensive. Right now, we live a 20-minute walk from the beach.
Yes.
We live a 20-minute ride from the mountains, and we've done that before.
Definitely, yeah.
We've made some trips. We were up in the mountains, and then half an hour later, we were down at the beach.
Yes.
Which is way cool here, and it's just something that you realistically don't get back in the States.
Correct. Thank you. I like your answer.
Any more questions?
I guess it's my turn.
Okay, I'll ask you a question. In all honesty and in all fairness, what's the one thing you disliked the most since you've been here?
I like that question. It's kind of like need to like pause there a minute. It's like not really. Okay, I'm lying. Okay, there is. This is like so emotional. So this is like more, more with my heart. I will say, I cannot say no in terms of the people needing and in terms of my family asking help. That's a biggest struggle for me because so that would be it. But I try to explain John and but you've been understanding with me because I try to filter things. What are and you also like very accepting and some days, well, you tolerate all my, like, yeah, I need this, especially Christmas and so on and so forth. Okay, I saw that Rodney has this question. Cindy, I mean, no disrespect, but if one is not retired in the Philippines, a viable place for someone a little bit young, I'm 45. Is Philippines
if you don't have a steady source of income coming in, it can be challenging. But by the same token, there are several people here that have a steady source of income through online occupation.
Yeah.
English teaching is a real common thing to look at as online.
Yeah.
And again, because especially in the more remote areas, the smaller cities, Dumaguete, Bacolod, Iloilo, that they're still cities, but they're just smaller cities. The cost is still way less expensive, and it is doable on an income like that. But
Yeah.
it can be a little bit scary.
I will say, it depends also the lifestyle you chose. Like let's say depending on your budget. Like when you came here, this is like my entertain or just a point of view. Like if you let's say you budget around $1,000 to $1,500 and you have already that permanent money or so depending if whatever you have or set aside or savings, then it depends on the lifestyle you chose. And yes, as one John said, it's scary in the beginning, but if you have a full mindset of like or wherever you go, if you love the place and if you set your mind of doing this, and I would say, you know what I mean? Like it's always there's always a way, and there's always did you get my point? Or hopefully we were able to answer your question, Rodney.
There's a YouTube channel, Geo in the Philippines. You might want to go check him out, Rodney. That he's an online teacher. He teaches English, and he travels mainly Southeast Asia, from what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. And he answers that question a lot more thoroughly, and honestly, a lot more frequently.
Yeah. Rodney said, I understand you. Okay, you're most welcome. Thank you.
And there's some things you got to be prepared for coming here. It's a different country and it's a different lifestyle.
Even me already here in the Philippines, there's still so much like things that I need to get adjusted to, because like I got used to with this, and then I lived in the US for 5 years, and then there are things that I get irritated, annoyed, and then I think of like I need to put my mind to switch to that mindset again, because I was like living a comfortable life, like an easy way, and then patience is no longer, I don't have patience anymore. So John has some. We're two opposite people.
Yeah, my first trip here, she had way more patience with everything going on, and I was horribly impatient.
Yeah, I would say I become more Americanized, and now I need to switch back that mindset. And boom, you need to turn back to Philippines. So yeah.
Yeah, it's. I had 3-4 more trips.
Yeah.
After that, to get a little bit more acclimated to it, and each trip it was a little bit easier, and it still gets frustrating some days. That we were looking at going somewhere, and we needed to go get a barangay clearance.
Barangay clearance, police clearance. Oh, we need.
Yeah, we had to make like 8 stops. Maybe not quite literally that many, but we stopped at the city hall.
Yeah.
Paid our taxes or did something like that. Went to the PMP office. Wound up having to get a couple photos.
Yeah.
Went down to the barangay hall. The barangay hall, the people that we needed to see weren't there, so we had to hang out for a little bit. And then we wound up, that they wound up having a meeting or something like that. And even after hanging out for a little bit, they weren't going to be able to get to us. And so we finally just, well, can you drop it off? It basically took the entire day to do something like that.
A day or two.
We tried to open a bank account, and I researched it online, and it can be done. But what I didn't quite understand is that it can only be done at certain branches. And so when we went down to BDO to try and open it, we found out something entirely different. And it was kind of a nightmare, and we wound up not being able to, which is part of the reason for the trip into Cebu. Cebu is one of the branches that deals more international banking, so we can do that. There's a lot of things that can make it very frustrating to live in here, and can be difficult to adjust to.
Yeah, I have a question for Rod. I'm curious how Filipinos feel about foreigner, like dislike or maybe indifferent to foreigners. Do you want to answer that? In your perspective.
Actually, you hit all 3. I'm sorry, I still gotta have my morning coffee.
I have my hot water. Always drink hot water.
And she's literally drinking just hot water hot. And that's a habit she had. But anyways, back to your question, that most people here are hugely welcoming, and even the ones that normally don't deal with the foreigners a lot are still typically welcoming. We went back into the mountains a couple times.
Yeah.
When we were doing the house build, there was a couple times that I managed to get up there with them. And some of the locals were a little kind of standoffish, and Cindy kind of chalked it up more to that they just didn't know and aren't comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And most of them, though, came out that they tried to communicate as best as they could. A lot of them up in the more remote mountains areas don't really speak English to any degree.
Yeah.
And the kids, it was way cool that they were out there, and I kind of had my little Barcata running around with me. I did a lot of photos and was just, kind of generally wandering around while they were doing their thing and getting a lot of it built and ready. And we plan on trying to make a trip back up before we leave Cebu. Hopefully, maybe possibly this week. I'm being really vague on that one because with a new job and everything, it's probably not going to happen, but it might. I don't know.
With my new job, I need to sleep daytime.
Yeah, that
Your nighttime in the US, daytime here in the Philippines, because I work with US based clients. So
yeah, the people you're working with based out of California?
actually Chicago.
Based out of Chicago, okay.
Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, that explains that particular time difference.
Central.
That she's working on Central Time here in the Philippines. From here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And so it's not, I think it's 14-hour time difference or something like that.
Yeah, 14.
And that makes it a little bit challenging. Contacting friends and relatives back home can be a little bit of a challenge.
True.
Because of the time difference. There's a kind of a narrow window that you're not both asleep. The one or the other of you isn't asleep.
Yeah. Hope we answer your question about Filipinos feel about foreigner, like, dislike, or maybe indifferent to foreigners. So hope we answer that, Rod. What else? Feel free to ask questions. Okay, going back on our track questions. You asked me about, my memory is short, like my height. Hell here.
What was the thing you disliked most about the return?
Dislike. Yeah, as I said a while ago, I'm so generous, and there's good and bad with family, that's for sure. Family drama, and but overall, there's a lot of good. So I will focus on the goodness.
And we both intentionally chosen to do that. I don't care where you live. There's a lot of things that you can focus on that are negative and you're going to bring it down. And that was part of the reason for the move. Is that with the way things were, I was starting to focus way too much on the negative things going on around us, especially with all this COVID garbage going on.
Yeah.
And the way people are reacting to it back in the States. And
Rodney said, "Thank you." Okay, you are most welcome.
any of the questions are hugely
Feel free
encouraged
to.
and welcomed. That it helps us carry on the topic.
Okay, it's my turn.
Oh,
Piggyback again on why Philippines. What are the things that you like the most here in the Philippines, and your biggest takeaways being here in the Philippines for 90 days? There's another one. Para biology one. Hey guys, hope things are doing well for you. Yes, thanks for joining us here.
actually, things are going along really well. We're both enjoying it a lot. What have I enjoyed the most? The ability to just go around and wander. We've been living here in the province, and things here are kind of goofy. We can't do inter-island, so that we're both looking forward to being able to get to Malay soon, someday.
Yeah.
But are accepting that it's probably not going to happen anytime in the immediate future, probably 30 to 90 days. But even locally, I am way thankful that Cebu province is pretty well open to locals, to people that live in Cebu province.
Yeah.
We've been to Cebu City a few times. I enjoy going there. You and I have been wandering around. We went down to Argao. We went over to Wall for a day.
Yeah.
And
Just road trip.
that just going through a lot of these mountains and stuff that we haven't explored. For anybody that hasn't kept up with us, that we've gotten multi-cab here, bright yellow one called Sunshine. But it allows us a little bit more opportunity to go places like that. And when we went down to Delagat Beach, we probably would have done that one, just had to hire a V hire and all that good stuff. Yeah. And but some of the other trips that we've done with Mama and Papa and family that we definitely wouldn't have been able to do without it.
Yeah.
And so that we're able to wander around a lot more and explore a lot of these back roads in different ways. When we went to Moalboal, we actually did something kind of cool. That we went up one road
Keep going.
and then came back another road, and it was a really interesting trip. I've got some moto vlogs of it, and I'm gonna start posting these moto vlogs on a separate channel. I'll post a link to any of them that and we'll definitely post a link to them on our Facebook page.
Cool. So from This Is Our Philippines, it said, good evening, guys, even though I heard roosters. Yes, there are roosters here.
Yes, there are definitely roosters here.
Parabiology 101 asks, did you dive in Moalboal? We're planning on that, but not yet.
The trip to Moalboal, we were doing an apartment hunting trip.
Yeah.
That we kind of wanted to try Moalboal for a couple weeks or a month, but we just weren't able to find anything that was a short-term rental that met all of our needs.
He asked, how's the snorkeling in Moalboal?
Again, we didn't.
Yeah, we
We
didn't.
didn't even make it to the beach.
We just tried. Not really snork. Did we try snorkeling 5 years ago?
No.
We just do swimming, right?
Yeah, we just did swimming.
We did swimming, and so we didn't really have the chance to do snorkeling or diving. Maybe, hopefully, one of these days we're going there. So then from Michael, and no, Philippine live stream is not authentic without the chickens in the background. That's for sure. You're right there.
When we were first getting together,
Oh yeah.
you lived in a fifth floor condo in Manila, in the heart of Manila, in Parañaque.
And there's 3 roosters.
And that was one of the challenges that you had, because if you opened the doors, the roosters were loud enough that it made it really hard for either one of us to hear to hear our voice calls.
It was so funny when I have meeting with my boss, like one day around 3 o'clock in the morning here, Philippine time. They said, "Are those roosters?" I'm like, "Yep." Like, okay, you are really in the country, and I said, "Nope." Oh yes, but even if you live in the country, then there's still roosters. Okay, from Rodney, one of the things I do like in Philippines is a focus on a more family-oriented culture, and I look forward to doing some travel in the Philippines with my family when I travel in September 2021. Yeah. One thing that I love is spending time with my family, even just a day trip, like going to Alcoy, going to the Delegate for mountain, so I'm looking forward. We're looking forward again for another day trip with family. Yes, there's a lot of fun. There's memories in there. Like, there's a stress in there, but I will not exchange the stress over the memories.
Yeah.
And then he's parable. I understand Moalboal is a nice place, great underwater, I've heard. Yep, that's true.
What memories we have of just swimming there, that it was gorgeous.
Gorgeous, clear,
and
crystal water.
Part of the reason why we didn't do a whole lot is at that point, Cindy wasn't scuba certified.
I don't know how to swim yet.
Yeah, she barely swam.
But now I know how to swim.
It was in Moalboal. It was the first time you ever back floated by yourself.
Yeah.
And I think I've got a video of that.
Yes.
A real short video of that.
I'm so skinny that time.
Oh. But yeah, we're definitely looking forward to going back. So far, with everything going on this trip, the only time that we dove was a couple years ago. We stayed at a resort in Cebu City.
Cebu Pacific Resort in Mactan, Lapu-Lapu.
And that was a dive resort. And we went diving off there, and it was awesome.
Yes. Parabiology asks, how much did the rental places you were looking at cost per month? What's the range there in Moalboal? Per day, you mean, or per month? Because we stayed there for a week, right?
We were looking strictly online. To be honest, we were looking through Airbnb mainly.
Yes.
And that they kind of ranged all over the board.
Yeah, I will say that there's a lot in Airbnb, but if you have the chance to go there because there's a lot of choices or options that you could always pick rather than in the online, you know.
And the other thing too is here in the Philippines, a lot of things are not
Advertise.
online or advertised in the way you think they would be.
Yeah, because basically, if online, you could look in Airbnb hotels or something, and it depends also on your budget. There's kind of like I can't really, depending on your choice too.
The best option we had that wasn't, it still didn't meet enough of the requirements for us to go through with it. It was a really nice place.
Yeah.
But the internet sucked really bad.
Yeah.
And with her new job, that was a huge requirement. It was on the beach.
It was
Built a place, but he was also building some new apartments there.
Yeah.
And that was 20,000.
Yeah.
20 to 30,000 a
There
month.
is a 10,000 pesos, but it's like a nipa hut structure. But there is no AC. You need to use electric fan. So it depends on your lifestyle too. There is 10,000. There is 20,000 pesos. That's for a month rental, and there's 35,000 pesos for 3 bedrooms. But
and it was beachfront property.
Yeah, but we don't need 3 bedroom. We have a lot of, choice. What's our priority? Our priority in looking for the rental in Bali was the internet first.
Yeah.
And I guess the internet is really, that's why we decided to just go in the city. In Cebu City, aside from we need to have a lot of errands done.
Then we've got a bunch of
paperwork
errands that
done.
need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And it'll just overall be easier for us in Cebu City, to do there.
Yeah. We found some good Airbnb places in the Manila area too. Yeah, I would agree with that. So we started Airbnb the first time we experienced that was my birthday, and we did it in Sedona.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why now we liking it. Right?
My first experience with Airbnb was when I got my 13A visa. That I booked her places through Airbnb.
Okay, that's the one.
And we've since found a few other people here that use Airbnb a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it's actually really good to do something in advance.
Yeah.
We've always used Expedia real heavy, especially for short-term stuff. Expedia is definitely more for short-term.
Yeah.
Airbnb is kind of cool that it's got a long-term option there too.
For you, Rodney. John, considering the house size, do you find you miss bigger places or
Not cool.
just outside more?
Not COVID.
20
40
years of
smoker.
40 years of cigarettes.
The house sizes here, when they're laid out well, you really don't miss it.
Yeah.
And overall, you're generally outside way more than you are in the U.S. anyhow. Do I miss not having a shop? Yeah, without question. There's some issues with sunshine that I want to look at, but I've got no place to do it. I've got no tool storage to even try and get tools to do it. Some of the stuff that I want to get done on the Rusi we've got, I just don't have a place to do it here. When we go to Balai, that Cindy and I have talked about this, we'll probably build a shop of some kind.
Yeah.
So that Papa and I can work on our different projects. But overall, I don't really miss the house sizes, but you got to remember, we came from a 900 square foot house in Phoenix.
Yeah.
That by American standards, we live in a very small house to begin with.
Which is a good part.
But it's got a big 2-car garage, so I was good with that. It let me do a lot of work on cars and stuff that I enjoy doing. And yeah, that if we build a place, yeah, I'm probably going to build a shop that I can do a little bit of work on cars. But again, to be perfectly honest, going back to that expenses thing, I had a custom built rack for the Rusi made.
Yeah. This
He put on
question
lights
for this is
and a
our
roll bar,
Philippine.
and it was $200.
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting. This is our Philippines question. I like your aunt's place, but that is not for everyone. That's
Yeah, it's definitely Bahay Kuba.
bamboo, yeah, bamboo behind it, yeah.
But in all honesty, we've got a friend of ours that he lives up.
Is it like raining?
I
Sorry.
think it is.
Okay, you could hear the rain.
You're probably going to hear the rain here. It's coming down pretty good here. He lives up north of Pampanga.
Yeah.
And he's a 6-month resident that he stays here for a while and goes back or travels. And he was born here but raised in the U.S.
Yeah.
And he lives in a Bahay Kuba when he's here. That's what he built for himself, and he enjoys it.
Yeah.
He does have a nice bathroom,
And a shower and an earthen.
but a bamboo floor in the shower. Don't need a drain.
I like my aunt's place too. She was so happy and proud about it because she said, "Oh, I have a lot of visitors now. My neighbors always visit me. Before, when my old house, no one visited me because they think I'm a witch." So, because he has a really old,
Superstitions in the mountains run rampant, and they are still heavily believed.
yeah.
You hear stories of the White Lady. You hear stories of
Me.
Aswang, and yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
But it's actually kind of cool to visit in some of those places. But you got to be prepared. A lot of them don't speak English.
They just smile.
A lot of them understand English, kind of, not well, but enough to try and at least point you in the right direction or something like that.
This is our Philippines. A shower with a bamboo floor. That is, yes, it is really interesting. Like you need to replace it every year, maybe.
Yeah, he was gone about 8 months.
Yeah, and then now he replaced it again.
And when he came back, he had to do some remodeling and some rebuilding. But
then Rodney again, full circle. Oh man, the rain in the Philippines. Who left the waterfall on? Wow, the rain is amazing in the Philippines. He know it's just different from where I agree. I like the rain here.
After coming from 28 years in Phoenix in the desert, the rain's kind of cool. But when we first got here, it poured. That we threw on some rain slickers we bought with
We're
us
just like
and ran outside and we're playing in the rain.
I was playing that too one day.
And the family here thought we were insane, but yeah, hey, rain was still kind of a novelty on us at that point.
That's one thing I like here too in the Philippines.
And that's a
The
huge
rain.
difference between here and the desert.
Except for the typhoons, okay, and the brownouts or blackouts.
When Mom and Papa first got in the U.S., we picked them up from the airport in L.A.
Yeah.
And drove down to San Diego. So it was still not genuine desert, but a little bit more so.
Yeah, they're asking, where's the trees?
And that was their first question. Why are the mountains naked?
Yeah. This is our Philippines question. I could deal with the rain better than the cold. Yes, I agree with you. Me too. I'd rather deal with the rain than the cold.
Yeah, that's just it. That coming from the Phoenix, again, we really didn't deal with the cold as much. A little bit during the winter, but it was just so insanely hot and dry.
Yeah. That
I'll take the more moderate, humid temperature any day. You get a nice little breeze going. It's actually really comfortable. The breeze gets shut off, or there's no breeze. Yeah, it can get sticky and humid bad quick. And there's been a few days that it's been humid enough that I've kind of whined and cried about it too. So
Rodney said, John and Cindy get cold buwang. I get colded too by my family. They're in joke. Buwang, yeah.
Yeah, I learned what buang buang meant really quick. That there was a, what was the other one puppy calls me for picking on you and teasing you?
I forgot.
Practical joker.
Yeah, I forgot.
This is a more deep Visayan word. It means practical joker, goofball type concept that Papa calls me occasionally. I enjoy picking on people, doing things to make them laugh.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The other word of kulit, like, you know. But yeah, I forget it. It's just my brain or mindset going to sleep.
We've got a housemate sneaking by.
Okay, I guess it's your turn. Question to me.
Let's see. I went overall impression. What you like the most? What you dislike the most? What's your overall impression? What? For somebody that's looking to do this, what would you tell them, positive or negative, or what would you tell them? Hey, I'm thinking about coming back to the Philippines. Should I?
Good question. Um, it's a mixed emotion before. Like, I got career and everything. Just me. Okay, I don't know with other um, Filipinas there going back here. I really love helping you. Like, I really love working. It's just the self worth. I just in the beginning I'm hesitant.
Yeah, when we first got here, she was still at the point of
I'm gonna
it's
go
not
back.
a move. It's an extended vacation.
Yeah, I'm really hesitant in the beginning because there's just so much. I guess I'm not used to it. I did not accept it. I just didn't, you know, I just did not. I don't know, but yeah, it's mixed emotion. But yeah, you need to have a mindset, full swing of your mindset that if you decide, you need to really decide, not 50-50, not 20-80, it's just 100%, So yeah, overall is what do you really like? Why do you really like? I guess I ask myself why. Like, I really need to come here in the Philippines. Why do I really need to come here? What's my benefits of coming here in the Philippines? So I need to go through those questions because I got to the point that before coming here in the Philippines, I really stressed out. I really paranoid. I really scared and worried a lot of things. So
We actually, this was kind of more her insisting, but it was a mutual thing that we actually did make a 3 different lists, the pros and cons
yeah,
of staying in Phoenix,
yeah.
moving to the Philippines, and just traveling Southeast Asia. And we kind of made pros and cons of the 3 different concepts.
Yeah.
And we came up with that it for us, and it's going to change for everybody. For us, the pros of coming here outweighed the cons, and the cons of staying in the Philippines or staying in Phoenix were basically outweighing the pros. And that's when you kind of converted to, we can do this kind of as an extended vacation.
Yeah. Rodney asked questions. Oh, Cindy, why were you worried about? Just typical lady girl, worried about finances, worried about John liking here in the Philippines, just a lot of things, like just negative thoughts. But I already switched. So yeah, those thoughts came in before coming here in the Philippines because what if John doesn't not like it? What if I cannot adjust it because I'm becoming more Americanized? So those questions before make me worried and scared because I already have a decent job in the US and need to, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I graduated with this and yeah. So, but I'm just grateful we're here. So from hope I answer your question, Rodney. From Michael and Heidi. Speaking of Phoenix, entertaining how Filipinos like the saguaro cactus. He he he. If I could only ship one to the Philippines, I could make lots of money. Yes, I agree with you. Definitely, I agree with you. People
You
love.
can get saguaro seeds and grow one from a seed. You give me an idea that her brother, he raises plants since the issues going on that they shut down the cockfighting, and so he's doing a lot of plant sales. I still got some friends in Phoenix, and I may have to
need
see if
take a look
they
at
could
that.
send them one. I'm not sure how it would survive. The heat would be no problem for it, but I'm not sure how it would survive with all the rain.
Yeah.
Because I know that too much water can quickly and easily kill them.
Yeah, from Rodney, thank you for answering. That helps me understand, Cindy. Okay, you are most welcome. Going back to that, like
Yeah, because some of those things that you were worried about did come true, just not to the degree you were worried about.
yeah, that's true.
That you being more Americanized, that did come true, but not as bad as you thought it would be.
I was also concerned about earning money because I already earned money before. Like me having, bringing into the table. I got used to it sharing, and that's why I make peace. Okay, I just need to, mindset that I'm on vacation. Like my husband is,
Yeah, I get to be the fat old retired guy.
he's feeding me. Is it us money or no, not that one.
I'm making decent money in retirement, so that we're making more than enough money to stay here without Cindy working.
Yeah, I guess it's the pride too for me. Like it's my pride of,
And
I don't want to be like other. I guess it's just me. Okay, don't get me wrong. Not other Filipinas. Like it's just me that I at early age I'm working so hard, to meet needs, to help family and so forth until we get married. This is just me. Like I like to help. I like to share. I like to, it's not just you. It's win-win situation. And let's see, from this is our Philippines, that can be scary. Not having a job.
yeah, it can be. The Cindy normally does about 90 days, and then winds up going back to work, and that's cool. It's that to take that much time off,
Yeah.
and get your life, get your head back in the right space,
Yeah.
and then go back at it again, and that's really cool.
I thought I was not gonna go back to work, and then suddenly, like just recently, like, oh, I have a job. I thought before losing a job, it would lose my mind because I cannot find another job, But I'm wrong. Definitely, me personally, I could find job as quick as I could if I want time, right?
Dumb curiosity.
Can
Can you guys hear the rain? It's coming down pretty good right now. I wish there was a way I could take this outside, but I don't have that set up.
Yeah. For Rod, for this is our Philippines, especially when you have been used to helping your extended family. Yes, I agree with you. That's why my worries too, because I've been helping my parents, and we're so generous enough. Also, if there are other people need help, we really need help. That's my worry too, because what if I don't earn, I cannot help them. So.
Well, and that's, I may get in trouble for sharing.
No, go ahead.
I'm badly retentive about keeping track of finances down to the penny. And I've got a spreadsheet. That some of you guys have been on the channel for a while. I was starting to do a little bit of a budget.
Yes.
On the U.S. Filipino pays to help show people what it was.
Rodney said I can hear the rain a little bit. Okay, no, I'm sorry.
But we went back through and reviewed what our 5-year expenses were in the U.S. And that was our single biggest expense, above mortgage, above everything, is the money we sent back to the Philippines.
True.
And
It was like,
I knew that was going to be an issue coming into it. And at times it has been a bit of an issue between us. I'm
yes,
not going to lie
at
about
times
that.
there's an argument with me and
Intense
John.
discussion.
Okay, intense discussion. Use intense argument. It's a heart-to-heart talk. How would you use that? Heart-to-heart talk. Yeah. Because like I'm grateful that I will just say I'm grateful because when I, speak out my opinion and express my feeling, you understand me, especially if that helping thing makes me happy.
Yes.
So I'm grateful for that because one, I'm not really emotional now. I'm not materialistic stuff for sure. I'm not. Yeah, I like cute shoes, whatever things, but I didn't really buy expensive stuff. I choose to help out my family and other people if they really need it. And I'm grateful.
Yeah, your Gucci purse is helping somebody build a house,
Yes.
and that's actually really cool.
Yes.
We may have had some intense discussions, but I don't think I've ever said no to anything that you have to send back for
Yeah, and I'm
any
grateful for
legitimate
that.
reason. And
Michael and Heidi said, I cannot hear rain. Sounds like it has scared away the chickens. Yes.
it did. It shut up the chickens. I didn't. Thanks for pointing that out. I didn't notice that
I
one.
know. I didn't realize it. So that's true.
Yeah, even chickens have enough sense to get out of the rain.
Yes.
But the money issue, and that was something we talked heavily about, and we actually did kind of a mock-up budget on what our estimated expenses were going to be, both here in the States, and we still have some expenses in the States, and whether or not there was going to be enough money coming in to cover them.
Yeah. This is our Philippine said, Michael and Heidi, I thought the same. Yeah. Well,
I guess there's a side benefit to the rain coming through.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. The one thing I've learned too, even about the giving part, is I have limitations. That's for sure. Like I really I put filters. Me personally, like before I ask John, I make sure that okay, is this really worth it? Do we really need to help this person? So I make sure to have those filters and priorities because not all the people I can help. We're not rich. We're not. We have enough.
We're comfortable, but we're definitely
comfortable,
not rich.
Yeah. This is our Philippines. Have not heard Rooster Crows and John said it was raining yet.
Yeah, there's definitely a side benefit to the rain.
Yes.
A long time ago, right after we got together, I think even before you got to the States.
Yeah.
We talked about it and we discussed and we agreed our needs are going to be met first.
Yeah.
Food, clothes, house, the basic necessities are going to be met first. We're going to have a little bit of money for savings to be put aside. And after that, any of that's genuine discretionary money can be sent back if needed, when needed. And we've always stuck with that, even here to this day. As long as we have enough money to pay bills here and to meet our genuine requirements, that I don't mind we spend extra money doing things that we've helped. We've helped do an upgrade for the dirty kitchen here at the house. That we've helped. Brother's leaving.
This is our Philippines. Keep the boundaries in mind, your budget, and you should be fine. Yeah, I agree with you.
And that's just it. That we've set them up and we mutually agreed on them. That's the big thing. We've mutually agreed on them. And this has been a topic that her and I have recently discussed. But for us, again, this is for us. We agreed from the very get-go, very shortly after we started realizing that this was going to be a serious commitment between you and I.
Yeah.
The finances were going to be joint and they were going to be completely transparent.
Yeah. True.
That there wasn't going to be your money, my money. There was going to be our money, period, and we spent the money.
Correct.
And back in the U.S., anytime I spent more than $12, 2 packs of cigarettes, I'd give her a heads up. You know, hey, I'm gonna, be going down to Home Depot. I'm gonna be, spending this much money. Anytime that we've ever spent any kind of significant money, we've always been together doing it. We bought our last car. The last thing we did before we agreed on it was she came out and saw what it was and agreed to it. When we bought the one here, that you were there.
Yeah.
But yeah, any major expenses, we've always agreed on.
That's true, and it works. It works really, really.
But the same is true for you. Before you did the house, before you did the dirty kitchen, the upgrades, you came to me and asked about it before you even introduced the concept to Papa. Yeah. And we talked about it and agreed on it. When you did the house up there, that one was kind of more of a feat accomplished before you let me know about it. That was more letting me know.
Yeah.
Your aunt's.
Oh yeah.
But that one was one that you were pretty comfortable I was going to agree to, and you still did give me the option to veto. And
from This Is Our Film, Cindy, you could do really well if it gets out what you can do for expats.
I'm assuming you're talking about taxes and stuff. That's actually something we talked about.
I'm actually learning that skill more and gaining more confidence because I am a payroll accountant.
Yeah, you so far have done predominantly payroll.
Yeah, and now I'm focusing more of the taxes. So this year I will have more experience for taxes. So hopefully next year, yeah, I'll give you discounts. I'll give you discounts, 50% off. For all the people watching. Now I compromise myself. You get free.
Anybody that's on this live stream, while it's still live,
you go free.
When she does taxes, if you're here, you'll get a freebie.
Yeah. I see questions almost daily and expect groups regarding that.
I understand there are a few retired CPA accountants here in the Philippines that do Filipino taxes from the Philippines for Americans.
Yeah.
To be bluntly honest, we're probably going to do TurboTax this year again.
Yeah.
But our taxes aren't terribly complicated this year. It was a potential concern of our, since the rain, the humidity went way up. It was a potential concern of ours that we may have wound up having to go back, but with the way things worked out, I couldn't have went back anyhow. But
yeah,
it was something we were going to have to potentially have to look at. But the way things worked out in the end, our taxes this year are going to be real simple. They're going to be a standard tax year.
Yeah.
One of the big things, I am on Social Security disability that just finally got approved. It was a 4-year process.
4 years.
And we were thinking there was going to be a pretty large back pay because of the length of time it took them to approve it.
Yeah.
And the way they approved it, there was no back pay there, or there was virtually no back pay. It was only 3 months worth of back pay. So, and I haven't gotten it yet, so it's going to be going on next year's taxes anyhow.
Yeah, we'll see about that. So, but we're almost 1 hour.
We're 54 minutes, and we're 54 minutes. So we truly appreciate people coming and listening, and especially staying with most of this live stream.
Some people would be willing to pay someone rather than do them. I agree with that. Yeah.
Even in the U.S., my son, he refused. I've shown him you can do them on TurboTax. I offered to sit down and help him do them last year, and now he went up to
HR in fact.
Yeah, he went up to HR block again.
It's actually, easy.
And I know a lot of people who do that, and it can be way simple. You drop the W-2s out on their desk, and in 20 minutes you have it done. Even with TurboTax, it still takes me a couple hours to do them. and then still typically get stuck with the standard deduction anyhow.
Yeah.
So yeah, to each his own. I actually kind of enjoy
different,
doing that
you
stuff.
know, it's just different. People have different way of liking it, doing it, or, you know.
The visa process, there's a lot of people that will pay somebody to do it for them. And I kind of enjoyed going through the process, and we made some record time because of it.
Yeah. So we thank you. We appreciate your questions.
I would like to ask one question.
Go ahead.
You guys can, to the people that are here and anybody else that watches this afterwards, when we go to Cebu City, she's going to be sleeping during the day. So that's going to leave me a lot of time during the day up in Fuentes Circle area, near Ayala Mall.
Yeah.
That we're going to have sunshine with us so I can travel a little bit. Who would be interested in me doing like a once a week live stream, just walking around neighborhoods, kind of doing a Chris and Cebu copycat of just what the streets are in Cebu right now?
Michael and Heidi said internet was good today. Yeah, definitely.
Here in the house with the fiber, that it's
10 Mbps.
Yeah, we're doing about 10 down and 7, 8 up.
Yeah, we're planning to upgrade it to 25 additional 10 for 2,300 overall pesos. So we'll see about that after a month stayed in Cebu. So
Sounds like somebody's getting a bike going or something
sorry
out
about
back.
that
They need a
noise.
muffler, so it sounds like this would be a really good time to cut it off for the day. If anybody'd like to see that, please please comment.
Rodney said please do that, John.
That they'll probably be done right about this time frame. That by then Cindy will be off and heading to bed. It'll still be morning out to where we can do it, and it'll be evening for you guys. So most everybody should be home from work and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. This is our Philippines. I would watch, but not sure with my job. I could catch it live.
And that's kind of the cool thing to these live streams is that they do get stored so that you can go back and watch them. Although they can be a little bit boring to watch just by the format and because you interact live like this. So
yeah,
it's something we're definitely thinking about and would like to do.
Yeah.
So
we thank you and we appreciate you for joining us today. I thank you also for sharing. It's so formal. Sorry, not me.
and I appreciate you letting us share like this.
So some questions are really like, so emotional, but yeah, just sharing there and be honest about the feelings and you know what I mean. But we're thankful for all the people that joining us today and for all those people that are watching after this live stream. We're truly grateful for your support. Our channel is not super big. We're growing. Definitely, we are thankful for your support. Comment, like, and subscribe.
Oh, I'm gonna leave my Phil's to Phoenix email in the comment section to this. If anybody would like a heads up or a text just before I do a live stream, either a live stream like this or a walking live stream in Cebu, email me your American phone number and I can send you a text. We still have T-Mobile here in the US and we can text back and forth to the US for free. So
yeah, this is our Philippines and sometimes I'm on the road a little later than others. And then we love to support our small channel friends. Thank you. Thank you so much.
But I would have to say that's about it.
Because
I appreciate everybody's time here. She's going to sleep. I'm going to go check out, see what the rain is, and
we're going
maybe
to
go for a bike ride
too.
today. So,
Mabuhay. Bye-bye.